Hi, Deepika here. As a staunch believer of complementary therapies that get to the core of issues, I advocate this in a super big way. Just this: get out of the way and express your emotions. Don't thwart them, rather, learn to handle them instead of sending them into obscurity. Or, at the least, there's this hole we imagine we have dug for them to be hidden from view, but it doesn't really work. In reality, emotions cannot be held down for long. Our mind body connection ensures that. To paraphrase Carl Jung, whatever goes into the shadow grows in murkiness and depth unless it ceases to remain there, until the time it ceases to remain there, and then it bursts upon our consciousness with such force that we are absolutely taken aback. Now, as you may have seen this in your very own lives, when that happens, all hell breaks loose at times like that. So you can see how mental issues your ego would rather deny, ignore, or suppress. These surface in the body, first as probably vague discomfort, and eventually as chronic pain. Likewise, pain ravaging your body shows up as mental fatigue in the form of anxiety, irritation, resentment, anger. Sensations are the language in which the body tries to engage your attention, but you mayn't be listening because your focus is predominantly in your outer world. And then it is a vicious cycle, a difficult one to overcome. And that's precisely why we see medication as the immediate and easy way to jump the queue of lengthier complementary treatments. What we also forego are longer lasting effects of alternate therapies when all that we do is depend upon medication. Now, whether your mind or your body ails, either way, you will know when you are at unrest, whether you are at physical unrest or mental unrest, and when you've had enough. You have to be a masochist to pretend away the consequences of ill health. Now, since spirituality and science have begun to see eye to eye mercifully, even traditional therapeutic interventions are seeing the intelligence of the body as being the supreme commander in charge. In therapy, there's a belief based on empirical evidence that homeostasis is a universal phenomenon in the body and isn't relegated to just a few organs or glands or even few spaces in your body. Which is to say that if you heal in one dimension, you will do so in all. And if your heart is functioning optimally, so will your organs, which are being fed by your heart. If your vagal tone is strong, then your ability to emotionally connect with others is uplifted, and your body releases feel-good endorphins in that case. Let's take a small example. You are an animal lover, and you partake in the activities of an NGO that feeds strays. Each time you perform this action, you loosen the love muscle around your heart, sending fresh blood coursing through your arteries. Your digestion improves. Your muscle reflexes improve because of the activity of the walking that you do to find strays. And it is known that walks stimulate the mind and bring clarity to other concerns we may have lingering in our head. So this is just one example of daily life. So two switch words that translate into switch actions are mindfulness and meditation. These two can immediately and conclusively shift your depleted energy reserves and shift your gears into positive thinking. So don't take my word for it. Try out some things for yourself. Things that perform a dual nourishing act on the mind and the body, gut included, of course. Because if you're going to take care of just your mind or you're going to take care of just your body, you're going to be doing half justice to your life. When was the last time you enjoyed being alive in the company of just yourself, with no electronic and human distractions? Now, we don't like quietude, if just for the grumbling internal noise that is stirred into wakeful consciousness when we go quiet. But you know that Rome wasn't taken in a day. So if you want to heal, there is no placebo for this kind of deep healing. And we have to allow the external clamor that we have interiorized to reach its highest decibel point or zenith before it can flatten the curve and disappear for good. So let's talk about some techniques to make life bearable while you are dealing with the heavy stuff of life. Okay? The first one is breathing techniques. Now, the number of breathing techniques listed on Google makes me wonder why we are making such a big thing about something that resides closest to us, was never separated from us, and will never will be. It's obvious why, because intelligent people like us too have forgotten the value of it. And unless you're a yogi or a yogini, I can guarantee you your current style of breathing won't save your life. With online guidance, don't get alarmed by the lingo, 3 in breaths, 5 hold before you do 6 out. The idea of breathing correctly is slow breathing versus our regular shallow breaths or our rapid anxiety-driven breaths, as I call them. This is what will help achieve balance and alignment in our life. Slow breathing. As an initiation into correct breathing, just do one simple thing. Breathe normally. Not the conditioned breathing, which could be harboring fear, anger, or sadness, or any other negative feeling or emotion that you can think of, but just the plain, simple act of taking in and out of air that drew abundant life into your body at the moment of your birth. Plain and simple. And when you sit by yourself daily as a ritual, contemplating this amazing phenomenon called breath, you will automatically, via the wisdom in your body, learn the nuances of your own unique breathing style and then make adjustments accordingly. But if this is something you can't do on your own, then do seek help from a qualified practitioner. Second, meditative techniques. Now, meditation is the new universal bylaw if you want to run past illnesses and stay out of reach. And the goal of any healing technique is the same. Mind-body homeostasis. But the routes are many, so many. You're so spoiled for choice these days, in fact. It can be frightening to contemplate so many techniques out there and choose one that suits you. The best way to begin your self-healing journey is to keep it simple. Follow the stillness that you possess within your own body. But you would ask me how to find the stillness. Initially, learn to leave everything and everybody you know at the gates of your consciousness. I know, in reality, that's not possible, as we all share the same consciousness, all right? But you know what I'm talking about. It is necessary for you to de-link with distractions, for you to appreciate your innate meditative nature. All it requires to get good at this is a daily practice. And you can even make your daily chores into meditative practices, wherein you slow down your actions such that the present moment enfolds what it has to, and you dwell on nothing else in that moment except what you are doing in that moment. These days, however, most people delegate their boring domestic chores to free up time for other pursuits. But I do believe that the more boring the task is, the more meditative practice you can squeeze out of it. You may have heard of the Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Now, post-enlightenment, you will get mastery in your daily jobs. You won't get the license to stop doing those jobs. That is what the saying says. You just get better and better at what you do in the best possible way. I do not advocate hiring a cave and a singing bowl to begin your practice. Only one thing, a commitment to pursue it. Even if it's thrice a week, or twice a week, or once a week. But then, chop your wood and carry your water, irrespective of deviations in those times. Third technique, mindfulness techniques. I find it pretty amusing that a nuance of our innate nature, mindfulness, is now being taught back to us as though it's something alien. We are born mindful, because being mindful is part of becoming conscious. And as little children, we exhibit a pure consciousness without guile. When we fixate our gaze on a toy, it's almost as though we are one with it. And would we harm it with ill intent? No, of course not, because babies are naturally mindful of the energetic constituents of their new life. As adults, we have to relearn what it is to be mindful of inanimate things, other people, other beings, the environment, other species. And for this reflection, we need time alone, in nature possibly. For our perspective in nature will probably widen in the company of non-competitive creatures rather than with humans, against whom we keep measuring ourselves. I don't remember ever measuring myself against a bird and wishing its plumage to be mine. You get the point. Fourth, in hypnotherapy, I have found my clients benefit greatly from progressive muscle relaxation, visualizations, listening for body sensations. These are gentle, effective ways towards easing slowly into self-healing intent and to access overall well-being. Fifth one, tapping. Tapping has been my favorite modality for both myself and my clients to instantly free up stale energy and open the blocked inner channels. It's creative, quick, easy, and complete in itself if done the right way. The next one, I must admit I'm a big fan of yoga, and I personally have had tremendous healing via this method. Personal healing. I believe its full implications for healing are seen after a few years of diligent practice. But remember, every session of yoga, starting with your very first one, will make the mind-body connection union very real for you. And if you want proof in this regard, there are possibly fewer such activities that surpass the good that yoga does for you right away. We cannot forget food, right? We just cannot get past any conversation without food. Okay, so whole fresh foods should never be replaced by processed foods, which is precisely the case in this day. If you say you have no time to think about what goes into your GI tract, you are telling me you do not care enough about yourself or love yourself enough to watch what goes into your mouth. If apart from the mental stress you perhaps face, you are also ignorant then of what healthy, nutritious food is, and then you are setting yourself up for disease. But instead, if you take good care of your body and support it with the right intake, then you are helping to reduce and ease your negatively charged mental state. I can't repeat it enough times, how adequate and timely night sleep is. It's the trump card that separates you from those that fall prey to brain fog and brain inflammation. Two concepts that are stalking the medical research corridors these days. So, between 10 a.m. and 2 a.m., your brain demands rest and nourishment and garbage clearance from its hallways that only sound sleep can provide. Are you going to deny your brain its right for optimal survival? It's your choice, of course, but you at least must do whatever you choose in self-awareness and with forewarning. Therapies such as craniosacral therapy are valued in the developed world for their holistic impact on the mind and body and for safely bridging this gap, if any, between these two functions. Now, this methodology gives you a striking chance to bring balance and homeostasis to your overworked and neglected body-mind systems. We lose energy daily, and if we have no replenishment source to raise our immunity, then we open ourselves to infections and diseases. There's no rocket science there. No therapy by itself is an all-cure or magic remedy. It's the collective influence of all that you do right by your body and mind, which will set you up for a balanced and healthy life. Apart from CST, similar therapies that can be administered only under the care of a practitioner, all other suggestions that I have given you in today's talk are under your control. If you are suffering from cognitive decline or body burnout, the only solution to permanent healing is deep cleansing. Any superficial intervention will be just that, skin deep and transitory. And if you're okay with the side effects, I'm happy for you. But I will indeed be happier for you if you take that step in the direction of holistic and whole body healing. Holistic, whole body healing. These are the switch words. If you decide to sideline psychosomatic diseases that can ravage your existence, then these are the two words that you need to remember. It's recommended that you select from therapies that offer you this caveat. That's all from me today. There is one last thing for tomorrow, formidable in its positive impact, that you can learn in order to gain control of your life. We will venture there tomorrow. Goodbye for now. See you.
Help Talks are daily health related talks held at Health Education Library for People, Mumbai, India. For more information visit www.healthlibrary.com. Subscribe to Help Talks channel. Be better informed about your health.